Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe. My channel is about all things makeup related, so if that interests you, be sure to subscribe. This is my date night makeup look. I use the Shadow Kiss palette by Alter Ego. They sent me 3 palettes and they're dupes for other palettes, and I'm really excited to use them. I wasn't sure what to expect. They're cruelty-free, made in Puerto Rico. I wasn't sure what to expect, but you'll have to watch the tutorial and find out. I did create this eye look with the palette, and we're just gonna jump right into the makeup tutorial. And I have 3 palettes here that Alter Ego sent me. They are like dupe palettes. This one I believe is a dupe for Natasha Denona's bronze palette. I don't own any Natasha Denona palettes. I want to, I just haven't purchased any. And then I have the Midsummer Alter Ego palette, which is supposed to be a dupe for Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. And I have Coastal, which is supposed to be a dupe for Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. So I'm really excited they sent these to me. I'll do some looks with them. They're super affordable. And today I'm going to use this palette. This is the Shadow Kiss palette. And I love these shades, totally up my alley. So I'm going to go ahead and film a look with that. Today's date night look is going to be kind of like Kim K inspired. I want some dramatic drama in my eyes, a little bit, nothing too crazy. And then I want really glowy, sculpted face. So we're just going to jump right into it. Alter Ego sent me an eye primer, and I'm just going to go in with that. They also are going to give me a code for you guys to get 10% off their eyeshadow palettes. So we'll see how they perform. And then I'll have my code linked below in the description box. So I'm going to rub this in, and then I'm going to put some concealer on top of this because I have very veiny eyelids and I want my eyes to be, like I want the veins to be concealed. And putting a primer underneath my concealer helps with the longevity of the concealer and the eyeshadow. And so there's that. So for concealer eye look, I'm going to mix the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium Honey and Snow for Too Faced Born This Way. So I'm going to share some like makeup tips. I want to do a full video on makeup tips for saving money. And honestly, if you buy a darker concealer and a light concealer, you could just mix these, become your own cosmetic chemist, and just mix them and create a shade that's going to work for you. Because buying so many different shades and concealers, when like I just mixed them and created the perfect shade for me, but like one dark, one light, and you just mix them, like maybe if you're lighter, you'll use more of the light shade than the dark shade, and that is just so much, it's going to save you so much money versus buying all different types of concealers in different undertones like pink and whatever. Like, just become your own cosmetic chemist. Mix what you have. Even if they're different brands, like these concealers are different brands. So I'm just going to like conceal this whole eye area. So I have a very matte, flat, opaque eyelid base. I'm going to take some translucent powder and set that eyeshadow base. Some people don't set their eyeshadow base and it works for them, but for me, I really need my concealer to be set. I don't need it to budge, so I always set it with some concealer, with some setting powder. So the light dusting of concealer on top of my eyelids, or sorry, light dusting of setting powder. And I'm going to pin back my hair for the rest of this. I got these from Amazon. I absolutely love them. They're like the only things that actually hold and stay. Alright, so in this beautiful Shadow Kiss palette, I haven't touched this or anything, I haven't swatched it, nothing. The first shade I'm going to go in with is, I got the shade Banish. Banish up there. I'm just going to put that all over my crease. I'm scared it's going to be a super pigmented Wow. I'm actually really surprised at that. That went on really nice and is really pigmented. Wasn't really wanting a full-on like defined crease there, but wow, I like it. I'm surprised, like this is not just me being biased. Do you notice my eyebrows look better in this video than my last video? Because my last video, my Botox was crazy. Okay. And wow. Okay, so this one, I'm trying to just get them to match. I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. Not expecting that, but I'm very happy. Okay, so next I'm gonna go with the shade. I'm just gonna try and blend that out with the shade Risk, just because that was so pigmented. So I'm just gonna blend out some edges with the Risk. Okay. Just gonna take a brush like this. This is a Morphe M33. It's got like a flat blending. And I'm gonna take the shade Shade. Take the shade Shade. That's funny. And I'm just gonna create a really defined outer lower V. I don't want this to be a really dramatic look. With these shades are so pigmented, oh my god. I mean, what was I thinking taking a palette like this and being like, I don't want a smoky look. Like, of course I'm gonna end up doing a smoky look. So this brand is cruelty free, made in Puerto Rico, doesn't have a weird smell to it. And so far, like these shades are performing very, very nice. The mattes are blending out very, very nice. I read in the review, like a negative review said that the browns all kind of look the same, but I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I don't think the browns all look the same at all. I think this brown is very different than the other two browns I went in with. So this is the shade Shade, just blending this into my outer V. And I'm very surprised how much I like this. Okay, so I have a nice defined outer V area, and those blended out super easy. I was extremely, extremely impressed. So I'm going to take the shade Umbra, the darkest brown, and a eyeliner brush, and I'm gonna create a wing, like a soft shadow wing. Blending out very, very nice. This is kind of like something that Kim K wears. So again, just blending up. Just like that. I'm gonna do the other eye. Really been liking these soft shadow wings lately. So I'm really, really, really liking the way this is turning out. Got this nice smoky wing. Trying to get my wings to match though, so I'm not like... And then I'm gonna go back in with this brush. This is that Morphe brush I went in the shade Shade, and I'm just gonna blend it out. I'm so, like, there's so many pretty shades in here. I literally have no idea what shimmer I want to go in with. I don't want to go anything super gold. All right, I'm gonna go in with the shade Cloak. That's the one that Cloak caught my eye in the beginning. So I don't want anything crazy. I just want like a tapping, like a very subtle. Well, so much for that. I'm about to look really crazy. Well, I mean, not crazy, but glittery and whatever. Not really what I wanted, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take the shade Mist on. I'm going to take the shade Mist and I'm just going to go with my finger and just tap into my inner corner. And I'm actually going to go back in with this Morphe brush and back in with this brown shade called Shade. And I just want to blend way too much of the shade for that, but whatever. Okay, this is becoming way more dramatic than I wanted, but that's okay. That's okay. Everything's okay. I feel like I'm missing something in this eye look. So I'm gonna go back in with a darker shade, like that shade Dare. It's like a darker shimmer. And I'm just gonna like tap it here. So I just want to soften this all up. I don't want it to be super dramatic. There. So I'm adding a light shimmer to just help ease that. So now I'm just gonna, I'll be back. I'm gonna clean up underneath my eyes here and I'm gonna do my face. All right, so I'm back. I just cleaned up my under eye. Now I'm gonna go with L'Oreal. This is the Glotion. This is my favorite under foundation glow. I don't like the Charlotte Tilbury one, and this one is just so good. So good. Okay. Blending this in. And then I'm gonna take my favorite drugstore foundation. This is the Crease True Skin. And I'm gonna do only like 1.5 pumps. And I'm going with my Sephora foundation brush. And I'm just gonna blend this in. This one does oxidize a bit. But I have oily skin, and this is the only really foundation that I found in the drugstore. But lets me have like a glow, but will last and gives me a glow. Looks like true skin. And I always go kind of light underneath my eyes because I will be putting concealer there. So foundation is on. So now I'm going to do some cream bronzing. I'm going with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour in the shade Light Medium. Love this stuff. I've always been like pushing way too much out of it. And it's like, and I just love how this gives such a light, natural contour. It's like pigmented, effective, and blends out like a dream. Got some concealer. I'm gonna do a dot down here on my nose here. This is my lightest one. I usually like to mix on the back of my hand, but I'm running a little late right now. Put this here and some here. I'm gonna pinch this and go down the center. Alright, so now I'm gonna go with some setting powder. This is the One Size Translucent Setting Powder. I'm gonna do a really light dusting underneath my eye first. Set my chin. Okay, so I set like the lightened areas with setting powder. I'm gonna go back in with some more setting powder to set my whole face with. Okay, so now I'm gonna go with one of my favorite bronzers. That is, oops, one of my favorite bronzers, which is the Milani Silk in the shade Sunlight 01. Bronzing. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my nose contour with my Too Faced Coco Contour palette, and I'm gonna go in with my Luna brush. For a second I thought I wasn't filming. I was like, oh no. Okay, and I'm gonna contour my nose. I just go down the sides here. So I did a little contour there. I'm actually gonna do a little contour under my cheeks with that same shade to get some of that cool tone gray. But nothing super crazy. So for blush, I've been liking a more muted blush, but I'm gonna mix these two together. I really like the shade Exposed by Too Faced, or Tarte, and I also like, I'm dropping everything. Everything. I like Exposed, and I like the shade Charmed, but I'm gonna go in with Exposed and maybe a touch of Charmed. So I'm just liking a more neutral pink. Alright, so I just have a touch of the shade Charmed. I'm gonna go in with the shade Marble by Ciat London. This has got like a little bit of shimmer in it. It's a more berry kind of blush, but this is no longer available. But I really like mixing this. And I'm gonna go in, might as well, with Captivating, which is that really peachy pink. Just a touch. My wife is always like, oh my god, you wear so much blush. And I'm just like, blush is in. So I'm just gonna go under here, kind of like go over my contour a little bit. It's a little harsh. This is NARS Cove Advanced Matte Setting Powder. Kind of set all those areas. And then, yeah, actually I'm gonna take this on this brush and just clean up a little there. Alright, so now I'm gonna do my brows. I'm gonna just comb my brows up. And I'm gonna go in with the Weakened Brow by Milani. I'd much rather go in with a pencil, but I'm currently out of all brow pencils. So I'm just gonna stroke. And then like while it's drying, I just take this brush and I just go back in and just kind of wiggle it out so it's nothing too harsh with those brow strokes. And then one of my favorite brow gels lately has been Sephora Brow Gel. It's super affordable. And it's supposed to be like, I think, a copycat of another brand at Sephora that I watch people use in their videos. But I just love how it holds my brows. It's very, very wet. Like, it's not waxy at all. So it's wet, and then as soon as wherever you brush your brows, they will stay like all day. And sometimes it's too much product. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like too much, but so there's that. Now I'm gonna go underneath my eye. So I'm gonna take this ColourPop E21 and I'm gonna go in with the shade Vanish. That shade right there. And I'm just gonna brush this underneath on the outer V area. And then over on the side, same thing. You know, these palettes, like I'm gonna create some other looks with these palettes. I really wasn't expecting, like, I don't know, they really surprised me. They're really good. Well, so far, the shades I've used are really good. And I'm really happy they sent me these palettes. And so I'm gonna tightline my upper lash line and just the outer part. And then I'm gonna put, since Silky Nude on my bottom waterline. Like that. And for highlights, I'm really torn. I don't know if I want a super dramatic highlight, so I'm just gonna go in with some Laura Mercier of the 01 highlight. I've had this stuff forever. It's dome like this. I use it all the time for inner corner highlight, and it's like barely touched. That's my wife talking to my dog. I just love this subtle highlight. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my setting spray. This is the e.l.f. Stay All Night setting spray. I'm gonna try and void my eyes. I'm gonna go in with a sponge. Where's Helen? Alright, so I have been looking and I finally found it, and this is the shade Natural by NYX. This is my favorite lip liner shade ever. And I'm gonna line my lips. Okay, so my lips are lined, and then I'm gonna take Milani, and this is in the shade Secret, and I'm just gonna tap. Like, I'm not applying it. It's like a really light shade of it. Like that. And then I'm gonna go with this gloss. This is the Morphe Mercury. This is the Madison Beer collection, but they have this shade without the Madison Beer collab. It's the prettiest cool tone nude. And that's the lip. And so for the eyes, to finish off the eyes, I want to make sure that these wings are blended because this one looks a little harsh. So I'm just gonna go in here and just blend. So I don't want a harsh, like this one looks pretty good to me over here. You know, nothing crazy. But this one is just a no, 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 no. And then it's time for mascara, so I'm gonna curl my lashes. See, I don't know how people, this is the first time I tried doing it, but if you line your top lash line with dark eyeliner and the bottom with light eyeliner, like they will end up being together, you know? And that's not cute. Like that black line that ended up in my bottom lash line, like I don't want that. Okay, so once my lashes are curled, I'm gonna apply my Rocket Maybelline mascara. I've been using a growth serum from Grande Lash, and I stopped using it for about a week. but it really has transformed my lashes. And then that is the completed look. Alright guys, that completes this date night makeup look, and I cannot wait to try out more of Alter Ego's eyeshadow palettes. The Shadow Kiss palette really impressed me. I really like the look. It's a little bit more dramatic than I planned, but the shades performed very nice, and I will continue to use these palettes for future looks. So that completes this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in my next video.